Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday so far. Today's topic is pretty serious. Today I listened to a little bit of the news and they talked about what the CDC is saying and um, what they're thinking, which is causing COVID 19 symptoms to be worsened, is a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about obesity out there. And so, not only are they starting to talk about obesity being a major underlining issue with COVID 19, but they're also talking about how many are the American public having a depressed immune system also causing the same issue. Well, they both have something in common. Obviously, when you're uh, obese, you have an underlying issue which is causing your body to be over acidic, which is causing issues with the immune system also. But what's also catching my eye is I'm seeing a lot of commercials about the rise or actually, it's an epidemic, I think, on insulin resistance. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been seeing those commercials that the root cause to type 2 diabetes and fatty liver and obesity is insulin resistance. And some of the commercials are even, what they're doing is they're talking about changing your lifestyle. And actually, that is the simplest and fastest way to do it. The thing is, guys, this is nothing new. This is something we've been preaching for a few years now. Not just me, but many other health professionals out there trying to educate the public on how to reverse this epidemic of obesity and this epidemic of the young and the old having type 2 diabetes. And I mean, it's unbelievable how many people I'm seeing that is being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at all ages. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like I'm getting messages. I belong to different type 2 diabetic group sites and intermittent fasting sites, and I'm seeing it now escalating one or two up to three times a day of somebody who had either a family member diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and have to go on medication, or themselves being diagnosed. And they didn't even know it. And that's kind of like what fatty liver is. And so this subject of insulin resistance that is now out of control here in the United States is a subject that really should be addressed by more and more health professionals. And they also need to explain that there is a natural way to reverse it without taking medication. And by having the right tools and the right guidance, see, that's the key right there. I mean, all these sites that I belong to, a lot of the questions out there, people are confused on what tools do they need to have in order to reverse whatever, type 2 diabetes, obesity, or fatty liver. And then when they're given those tools, that's it. They're giving it to them, and they're on their own. And when you're dealing with obesity, especially with type 2 diabetes and fatty liver, you need to leave that up to a professional to guide you through that for the first 90 days. That is very important for your success, because obviously when you get to a point in your insulin resistance, especially if you had it for a long period of time and you are on medication, it's really important that you eliminate that underlying disease as quickly as possible before the side effects get even a lot worse. So And that's what Emily and I have been doing for the last few years. I've actually been helping a lot of type 2 diabetics and fatty liver and people who have fatty liver disease for the last few years, helping them reverse their issues by three things, three simple little things that we start with. First of all, we start them off by changing the types of food that they're eating. That's a must. You have to. The second thing is we introduce them to intermittent and extended fasting. That's another one. You have to do that if you're going to reverse your insulin resistance, and if you're going to reverse it for a lifetime. You got to understand how those two work. And then the third thing is, and it's a very simple one, and I don't hardly ever hear anybody talk about this, is by changing the type of water you're drinking. I mean, science has been talking about this for a long time. I think it was introduced to the United States in 2007. When it first was introduced, was molecular hydrogen H2 that's in hydrogen-rich water is known by clinical case studies to actually help reverse type 2 diabetes and all kinds of other diseases like high blood pressure. It's helped with that. I mean, the science is out there, but no one is putting it in front of the public. And, some of you might be thinking, well, my doctor's never talked to me about molecular hydrogen H2 to help my type 2 diabetes or my high blood pressure or my arthritis or my mental issues. Well, you got to understand these doctors today really don't have time to do any continual education or research. The nutritionists out there like us, that's our job. Our job is to do that. So you can't really go after your doctor and blame your doctor because that's not his field. That's our field. But the thing is, people like us need to get on live Facebook more, need to get on YouTube more, and we need to put it out there so people can see that there's an option to reversing obesity, fatty liver, and type 2 diabetes other than medication. And there's doctors that are jumping on board with this because there's doctors out there that are fed up with the medical platform they've been using for decades. And one of those is Dr. Jason Young for 20 years, or not Young, I'm Fung, Dr. Jason Fung, that for 20 years he admitted he was treating his type 2 diabetics and his obesity patients wrong. And that the medication never changed anything. It was just a Band-Aid which never worked. And besides, he saw the side effects after being on that medication for a long time, as well as other doctors and health professionals. There's nutritionists out there that are now coming out, and they're actually giving classes now to type 2 diabetics on how to reverse their issue by these three things. Change the type of water you're eating, introduce yourself and combine it with intermittent fasting, and then change the type of water that you're drinking. You guys need to understand that our drinking water, and that's including bottled water, and that's including any of those alkaline waters that you're buying out there at the health food stores for $2, $3, they're acidic. They're in plastic bottles. What makes you think that they're healthy for you? You guys can do your own investigation on the chemicals, all the different chemicals that are in plastic bottles. And also what's happening year after year is what's getting worse is the amount of estrogen that's in our drinking water, the amount of estrogen that's in our foods. And on top of that, you're breathing environmental toxins. So your poor immune system is just overran. And more people are not understanding how important. Dr. Jason Fung just did a video yesterday on the importance of people moving away from store-bought foods to buying organic foods, pasture-raised, grass-finished meats, bacon. I mean, all your meats, your eggs, all should be organic and pasture-raised. He's talking about this, which because that's the only way that you're going to really get overall health is by changing the type of foods you're eating and also where you're getting your foods. And yes, people flip out because organic foods, grass or pasture raised, grass finished meats, pasture raised eggs, all that organic stuff is expensive. But guess what? If you're incorporating intermittent fasting, which is known by science to be one of the healthiest environments to put your body into, you got to give your body a chance to rest and heal after eating so many meals every day. That's the whole option. It's a detoxifier. It helps to detoxify the body. Most of you know how important detoxifying the body is. But the thing is, if you incorporate your intermittent fasting and find a protocol that works for you, and that's where a health coach comes in, because they can help you. The first 90 days of you getting into trying to change your lifestyle is the most important time. Education is vital. It's absolutely vital. I've been working on a training website for almost 8 months now with a web designer, and we're about ready to launch it. He told me yesterday that we might be ready to launch it on Friday. And what this website is, it's actually a automated training website that has all the tools. It's a step-by-step courses and packages with training books and actual videos, training videos to guide you step by step through the whole thing. Because that's what people need today. They need to be educated to understand the root cause of their issue and how to eliminate it, and how to eliminate it for life. Because as I can see right now, it looks like the people here in the United States aren't getting any healthier. They're actually getting sicker because of the contamination. There's so much contamination in our foods and water, and then of course the environmental contamination gets worse and worse. And the number one thing that's being affected by all this is your own immune system. And science has been telling us for a long time now that these three programs will actually help your body boost your immune system up. Now, does it happen overnight? Absolutely not, because you guys are so toxic. You're so acidic. You got to give your body a chance to heal. And because you're eating so many contaminated foods throughout the day, you're eating 6, 7, 8 times a day, not understanding that's probably one of the biggest issues the American people have, is they're eating too much of the wrong foods and they're all contaminated. So your immune system obviously is depressed. And how often have you heard the doctors on the media talk about that the people that do contract viruses, COVID-19, the flu, or all these diseases, the root cause is because why their symptoms are so severe is their immune systems are so depressed. And so that's why they've been looking into finding something that will, some kind of medication or drug that will boost the immune system up. But they still don't understand that good food and what you eat and when you eat it is what's going to feed the gut, give you good gut bacteria, because 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So obviously, if your gut is not healthy, no way you're going to have a healthy immune system. So you got to get your gut healthy. But like I said, our food is so contaminated and our water is so contaminated. If you don't change that, you're just spinning your wheels. It's just not going to work. So guys, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it, or you can go to my Facebook group page, Fat Loss Made Easy. I got lots of training videos on there. And be looking for the launch of my new training website. It's pretty nice. I'm really impressed with the work my web designer has been doing and what he's been pushing me really hard. So I'm really looking forward to the launch. So guys, like I said, you've got to really look at what you're eating, how often you're eating, and then really got to look into the water you're drinking. And right now, the best water on this planet, which is shown by science, is molecular hydrogen H2. One of the properties to this is obviously it's alkaline, but that's not the therapeutic property to this water. That's just one of the properties of it. What makes this water therapeutic and so different than any water out on this planet is because it's the molecule known as molecular hydrogen H2. And you know what's really ironic about that is when this planet was formed, and that was in the water our ancestors drank. And matter of fact, I don't know if you know this, but there's countries still in this world today. There's countries that actually have water still that has not been contaminated yet and still has molecular hydrogen H2. Still does. So also you guys can go to my, you can message me at bill@billmabrycoaching.com if you'd like some more information on this topic here today. Okay? Guys, have a great day, and we'll see you at the next video.